Yo, it's your boy Gary the Konnect coming at you live, man. We got a special guest on the podcast today. We're going to let her introduce herself to you.
Yo. This is Anonimuss Rose, all the way from the Lexington, Kentucky. We really ain't go nowhere, but we still here, though.
Hey,
Making noise. What's going on, man?
Man, same old. I'm finally glad I got to get you here. We had a lot of people coming on the podcast. We got a lot of people set up, but this is a special guest because this is someone that I have known for a while.
Swear.
And it's like all the time, like we spend time together, we've known each other, we've been around all the time, and it's like, okay, now it's time to actually put everything that we got together and actually like move for a bigger cause.
Yeah, grow. It's time
like,
to grow.
And like we was talking about earlier, like Lexington as an individual, like there's so many different networks, avenues that you can go down, and it's like, how can you pinpoint exactly which way you want to go when there's so many different outlets like that you can do, like with your music and everything? Like you do a different style of music than what everybody else does.
Yes,
and
yes,
like
I do.
Hearing it, it's like, and seeing like the image that you have, it's like, okay, yeah, that's definitely what it is. That's definitely what it is.
I mean, as far as like music goes, like music is an avenue station anyways. You know what I'm saying? It's like this big ass train station, and whatever genre, you know, that you're aiming for is the train that you're gonna hop on. It's the ticket that you buy. Now as far as, you know, the destination, that's solely up to you because you gotta get off the train. You know what I'm saying? You can either stay on this train and keep going, or you can hop off it. So with Lexington, it's more so of we don't have a foundation. We got a train station, but we don't have a foundation. We don't have a destination like Atlanta, like Chicago, like Los Angeles, like, you know, cities, New York. So with me being who I am, doing neo-soul hip-hop, I don't want to say I'm the one that's taking the bullets and taking the risk, but I am taking a very big risk because now in Lexington, all it is R&B and rap. Yeah. Nobody ever thinks about neo-soul. Nobody ever thinks about hip-hop, you know, in a sense of itself, and paying homage to the people that, you know, came before us, keeping them alive as well. So, I mean, it's difficult, but if you know where you want to go, you're going to do it.
Definitely. And, like, for a lot of people that don't really know, like, what, because, you know, like, Bryson Tiller's got trap soul. Mm-hmm. Like, what is neo-soul? Like,
so neo-soul is a new soul. So, it's like revamped by the younger generation. So, you know, you got James Brown, you got, you know, Al Green, you got Aretha Franklin, you know, people that produce soul music, B.B. King, you know, and I basically take those artists and I use them as an influence. You know, okay. I don't mock their style because most people say I sound like Lauryn. They feel like I sound like Lauryn Hill. And I'm like, you know, that's beautiful, but I'm not Lauryn. You know what I'm saying? My sound is so far from Lauryn. You know, you just basically take those artists, you mix them in a pot, add a little new generation to it, a little bop to it, to where we can, you know what I'm saying? People in our generations, 26, 27, 28, even younger than that, can actually be like, you know what? This is actually still young. This is hip. This is cool. So, you know, and I throw a couple of bars in there every now and then to show I can rap, you know? So.
And it's like, I was talking to my homie the other day, and like we was talking about like the music that his kids listen to, because there was a little kid that was in there shooting free throws. We were at the gym. And I was like, what do you think he's listening to? And he was like, I mean, right now, probably some trap music. And I'm like, why? He's like, because he's got to, like, get his juices going. I'm like, so what do your kids listen to? And he's like, oh, no. I limit everything that my kids listen to. So he shows me his playlist, and I'm like, Kids Bop? And it was like, Kids Bop 38. And I'm like,
yo, let me tell you something. If bruh. Kids Bop my song, I would feel so elated. Like, bruh, that's a move when you got Kids Bop. You know what I'm saying? Because you already got Now That's a Hit. You know what I'm saying? Now 38, 30, and 39.
That's crazy, because I remember seeing it, and it was like, that was the very first CD, and I hate to say this, but that was the very first CD I stole, was a Kids Bop CD. And, bro, I cracked it open and put it right in my jacket while I clean up out of it. Bro. I was just like, and now I'm seeing that song like 38, and I'm like, Kids Bop? Really? Like there's so many different, like you said, like the train station with it, and it's like there's, okay, you got these people going towards rap, you got these people going towards trap, you got neo-soul, you got trap soul, and then you got your every other alternative outlet
pop,
that's there.
Rock, you know,
And it's like a lot of people cross over into things that they don't normally do. Like, it's like when Lil Nas X came out with that song with Old Town Road with Billy Ray Cyrus, everybody was like, Billy Ray, like, what? But it was a good song.
Yeah, it was definitely a good song. But as far as, you know, like with Nas, I always make it apparent on Rosewood. You know, Rosewood is a independent radio show, you know what I'm saying, to where we showcase independent artists. And I always ask them, are you ready for this life? Mm-hmm. Because music is a difficult industry. It's about what's popping, what's now. How can you grasp someone's attention? Exactly. Will you be a one-hit wonder? Are you gonna be a lick it now, lick it good, or are you gonna be a so tell me what's really going on? You know what I'm saying? There's a different type of line of music that you're heading for. So when I think about Nas, you know what I'm saying, and shout out to him and his creation, you know, I just feel like my baby wasn't ready. Yeah. You know, I feel like he basically had these people like, you know what, we're going to put this image together for you, and this is what you're going to portray because it's hot, without letting him be himself. Exactly. You know, so music is one of those, you know, you got to watch yourself. You lose yourself in this shit. Yeah. I mean, like, you know, you can really lose yourself.
And it's like, I don't really do music. I mean, I have before, but I realized at a point, like, which a lot of people don't, like, you get to the point, you're like, you know what, like, music isn't for me. Like, me being around music may be better for me because I can listen to music. I know what I want to hear. But at the same time, me doing music and trying to make something that everyone else want to hear isn't the same. Yeah. Like, it's like I can make songs that I want to listen to all day long, but am I going to play this in front of this person, or am I going to play this in front of that person? And I used to think about that like a long time ago. Like when I would try to rap, I would be like, am I really going to play this in front of somebody, or am I just going to, oh, if it comes on, we just going to let it ride and see what they say? And it's like, I appreciate it and I commend y'all for being able to show, like, okay, here's my music. I've been working on this, put it together. Here it is. Let me know what you think, because I'm self-conscious. I look
my God.
And I'm like, oh my God.
I would never forget, man. I was in the studio and we were working on something and it was raw. But I just kind of like, you know, did a Facebook story and had it playing in the background, and I posted it to a music page. And dude told me I sounded like two horses screaming on the track. Oh man. And I was like, me personally, I would have let that be like the end of my career. Yeah. You know, but I was like, yo, it's raw. You know what I'm saying? I had to take it for what it is. It's a raw sounding song. It is what it is. You might not like it, but somebody does. Somebody will, yeah. You know. And
that's the thing too, like being able to have that confidence to be able to be like, okay, I'm gonna put something out. I'm gonna push it. Like I see people all the time release, and it's like you didn't even give yourself time to be able to push what you just put out. Like it's okay to put out 10 songs, but put those 10 songs out together. Give somebody something to listen to.
I've been telling people, you know, because I've realized within myself, like when I dropped Euphoria, you know, shout out to Euphoria, you know, my EP I dropped in 2018. Sick. First of all, it took me 4 years to get it together prior to that. And it was because of my own insecurity with my sound. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, ain't nobody gonna fuck with it. Yeah. Ain't nobody gonna mess with it. Ain't nobody really gonna, you know, rock with what I'm trying to portray. Yeah. And then I had to also understand that, you know, you gotta have an audience. You gotta know who you want to pinpoint. So, you know, my manager, you know, shout out to Power. He sat down and he asked me, he was like, yo, so who are you? You know, I'm Anonimuss Rose. You know, I do neo-soul hip-hop. You know, I've been through some stuff. And, you know, I've never let that overtake my life, but it's always helped to grow me. He's like, okay, so now who do you want to listen to your music? I want everybody to listen to it. I'm aiming for that 9 to 5. I work hard. You know, I don't have to be just a woman or just a man to listen to my music. I just want somebody to be like, you know what? This is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm going to turn on. Because this is what's going to either calm me down, motivate me. You know, I really don't do any vulgar music. I can honestly say that. Like, everything is inspirational. Everything has a message and a purpose behind it. So, you know, to get people on this bandwagon of respecting themselves and loving themselves and telling people, you know, whatever it is, I can't worry about who gonna like it and who ain't. Exactly. You know, so many people will pass it up and be like, you know what, Euphoria had poor quality. It didn't sound like it. It didn't. And then some people are like, yo, you definitely got potential.
For sure. You know, so. And that's the thing is like, having that background and that push behind you is always great. But at the same time, you kind of have to have your haters so you can know, okay. So like with a lot of things that we do, like with my homie, shout out to Modern Creativity, we do a lot of YouTube channel stuff, and a lot of people look at it and they're like, man, what are y'all doing? And I'm like, at the end of the day, it's me, my buddies getting together and going out and having fun, going to anime cons and comic cons and watching Dragon Ball Z together and doing
Naruto.
stuff that,
shout out to Naruto.
you feel me, like doing stuff that you do as a kid and like still being able to enjoy that as an adult. Like you could go back and watch a show. Like I sit and I'll see like my little cousins watching stuff on TV, and it's like this cartoon is displaying and giving off a completely different message than what these kids are taking it as. And I'm like, you didn't just understand that this cartoon character just told this cartoon character, if something happens to you, that ain't on me.
Right.
But as an adult, you looking at it.
Nobody ever pays attention to the underlining messages.
Yeah, and it's like sitting back thinking like the cartoons or stuff that we used to watch definitely keeps us on the same level. Like it wasn't like a lot of things was hurtful or things were going crazy. It was just like cartoons were meant to enjoy yourself and have fun, and it was something that was built towards you. And it's like not everybody liked the same cartoons, just like not everybody's gonna like the same music. Not everybody's gonna like the same.
And it's crazy because in cartoons, everybody has their own image of what they consider the greatest cartoon.
Yeah, for sure.
So everybody get their own image in their mind of what they consider the greatest musician or who's working hard. And it's crazy because those same people hold the same positions.
Facts.
You know, there's no room to let a new person in for real, unless they are doing what is prominent now. Yeah. You know, Hot Girl Summer, Chat Boy Season, you know.
And it's like a lot of stuff like that you would listen to, like a lot of music that I listen to personally, like I get a lot of slack from my friends because I feel like Drake is the greatest out right now.
Oh God.
But it's like
that's my baby.
You can't go anywhere and play a Drake song, they'd be like, turn that off. I don't want to hear that. But you can go many places and play a Migos song or a Wayne song or, I mean, a Royce the 5'9" song. And they're like, I don't want to hear that.
And you want to know why? Because Drake left himself room to open up to a different type. He said, you know what, I want to sing. So I'm going to try to sing. Yep. You know what, I want to do pop. So I'm going to merge into the pop. You know what, I want to do kind of like an island thing. Yep. So let me merge to that type of music, that type of sound, and it worked. Yep. You know, even in being true to yourself, you have to be willing as an artist to try different things always, because you never know what's gonna hit and what's gonna miss 100%. In the midst of that situation. So, you know, it's all about keeping that avenue straight, keeping what you want, that image straight, and then making sure that you leave time to be open. It's a creative process, so you got to make sure that you stay creative.
Yeah. And it's like, how long do you think it takes, like, before, like, if you listen to a beat and you're like, okay, I can hear that. Like, how long do you think it's before you're like, okay, nah, that ain't for me?
I don't know if anybody writes like me. I don't know. If it's a beat, I write on the spot. Yeah. If it's a hit, I write on the spot. If it's not for me, I listen to it at least 2 to 3 times in the same day. That's a 15-minute period. Yeah. Like, and then I'd be like, I gotta hit the beat maker back. Like, you got it. And it's hard as a neo soul artist because nobody carries that jazzy sound with the 808. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. With the hip sound, nobody's ever thinking about that. It's a lot of boom pap and ting tings and cymbals and claps, snaps, and
snare drum in the back, everything.
You know what I'm saying? So I have to send back a lot of beats. So it's like, no offense to any producer that's ever sent me anything, but if it's not for me, I just let that shit ride. I'll let you give it to somebody else.
Facts. And it's not that it's not, like you said, it's just not for me. Like, there's interviews, like I said before, whenever we were talking earlier, like there's interviews that I have to pass up on because it's like, it's not good for my image, or it's not going to be something that is going to be prevalent. Like, not that I'm trying to say that this person isn't as important as this person, but it's like there's a lot of things that happen where it's like, you know, you got to try to be better than what you once were. Like, I look at each one of my interviews and I'm like, okay, so what can I do better in the next interview? What can I stop? when do people start watching? Because just like with songs, you get analytics on everything. You know if a person's only listening to the first 30 seconds of the song, and then that's it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, in that first 30 seconds, what was I doing that had their attention so grabbed and was like, you know what, I'm definitely trying to do this. And it's like...
Well, a lot of people only give, like, me personally, I give a song for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, if it takes too long for the intro to come, like, oh my God. So being a critic of independent music, you know, there's a lot of components that come with it. So it's like, you know, does it take 30 minutes for it to come in? Does your beat take too long to come in? Does the presence of your artistry lack in your lyrics? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the quality? Are you sounding like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can bump you in my car and turn you all the way up. Yeah. Within that 30 seconds is a crucial 30 seconds. Like, even when I record Rosewood, you know, and I'm sitting there and I'm talking to people, it takes a minute for people to come in because it looks like I'm not talking about nothing because we're waiting for people to come in.
For sure.
And it's like, you know, hey, it is what it is. You got to take your wins with your woes. But at the same time, you got to keep it in mind that it takes 30 seconds. If your lyrics don't come in at least by 15 to 20, 25 seconds.
And that's not a, yeah.
This is what we doing.
Like, it's so funny seeing that because it's like, you can look at different, because like I was talking to a guy before and I was like, man, back then I used to get on live mixtapes, Dat Piff, LimeWire, yeah, Frostwire. Like I'm smashing these downloads when now I'm paying for Apple Music and I'm downloading that whole album and it's like, okay, how am I contributing to that artist now? And it's like you said earlier, whenever we see like a lot of businesses, like I seen a post last night and it was like, just cash at me $1 if you support my business and everything. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna reshare it. I checked my Cash App this morning. There was nothing. But it's like, I can't get discouraged on that because I do know at the end of the day, when I post something, this person's watching it. When I look at this person's watching it. I've posted stuff that I went back and looked at and it was 2 years ago. It's got 500, 600 views on it. I'm like, who's still sitting watching this from 2 years ago?
You gotta understand, man, like, oh my God, it's an experience. So back to the theory where we were like, you know, just push one song, right? Yeah. So you can make, you know, as a radio, a podcast personality, we can make mini shows and that'd be the archive. This is different than music because music is, you know, you put out more than one song, nobody's gonna get to hear that song. But when you recap, it gives them a chance to be like, oh, okay, so this is what you're about. So once they start watching one, they watch another one. They watch another one. And they watch another one. Then that 200 goes to 500. At 500 pop up to 700. And you're like, wait a minute. But the ones I got now are not even catching views because people are so behind when it comes to it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so it's about promotion. It's about how you push yourself. It's about, you know, how you continue.
It's crazy. It's like, it's crazy because like earlier when we were talking, like you could walk by somebody and then get an Instagram request from them a day later, and they do something that you never even knew. You like there's people that do pottery, there's people that paint, there's people that do music, there's people that draw, there's people that do stuff on computers that I ain't never seen people do before. Like, and all those people get together, and it's like, okay, what can I do to help you that can help me, that can help the next person, that can help both of us? And it's like, how can we conversate? Like, I made some business cards and I put my personal number on it. And I was like, okay, now I got 1,000 business cards with my personal number on it. That's 1,000 people that I could be in contact with. But now I can't just take this stack of business cards and leave 40 here, 50 here. Because now my phone number's just out here everywhere. People just calling random. Like, it's like, you kind of got to limit yourself to who you do business with. But at the same time, you got to be open to do business with everybody.
And you can always, sideline out of this, you can always set up an 800 number.
Yeah.
You can always do that. And it's just to redirect. The calls will still come to your personal phone. Yeah. But it'll be screened. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? If it ain't about business, don't call my phone. Or you know what I'm saying?
You always got a friend that's gonna hit your inbox and be like, oh my God, da 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 da, and you're like, okay, I know what you feel, but stop.
Or you could be like, you know, little anonymous here and just have random people that just kind of want to pop up and do vulgar things that You know, I'm like, bro, I don't even know you. Could you take me out to dinner first?
Yeah,
before you just hop up on my phone doing some nasty stuff?
Just inboxing.
You know what I'm saying? Inboxing. Crazy attention.
And I don't understand that. Like, me as a person, like, I don't feel like I'm going to be sending anything to just anybody.
Yeah, nah, bro. Nah.
Like, at this point, guys talk, but I know girls talk too. And it's like, I don't want me to be seen by everyone, which it seems like everyone is going to be looking if I send this. So,
you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I wonder if he ever took a second
to
stop and think about it. Like, before I send this dingling pic, is this the person I really want to send? You know what?
Bruh.
Yep, I want her to see it. I want her
Bruh.
to have it. And I'm like, yo, my page is for business.
And it's so funny because, like, do us being where we are now, like, in 2 to 5 years, we turn to something completely different. I could only imagine the stuff that we're going to be getting since.
Oh, my God.
I'm just like, you go here and you like, all right, I can't even be out in public because now this person to try to run backstage or this person to try to jump in the car. And I'm like, I could, like, being famous is something that, like, I always think about, okay, would I rather be rich or would I rather be famous? And it's like, being famous kind of comes with being rich, but being rich doesn't also always come with being famous. Because there's 1,000,001 rich people that you never know.
Right.
It's like the next person that you see me walk by you. Like, I seen a post on Facebook a couple years ago. It was like a guy sat next to me and he had like an iPhone 4. And he was like, why do you have an iPhone 4? And he was like, man, I own this business and this business and this business. I can afford to upgrade, but why when what I have works so good? You don't always have to have the next best thing. Like, it's always good to be like, oh yeah, I got something nice. I got this and this and this. But at the same time, is what you have going to be able to make, like having a MacBook. You pay $1,000 for a MacBook. Is that MacBook going to be able to get you $1,000 worth of work that's going to pay for itself?
Yeah.
And it's like, I use back to basics. I know how to use it. I know exactly what I need to do. If this happens, I know how to go back and do it. But do I like seeing nice stuff? Yes. When I get in front of 12 monitors and I start seeing things that I've never seen before, I'm like, hell yeah, that's exactly where I want to be. But I can't afford this, so let me get up out of
here. I stopped and asked myself that question because I was like, yo, you know, sometimes I catch myself praying for my millions, you know, and it's I ain't gonna try to go too deep. I'm trying to control my language, but it's messed up because as the Black community, as a Black man and as a Black woman that are sitting right here trying to build something, trying to create something, it's hard not to want to be rich because with money you get resources. It's hard not to want to be famous. Without fame, nobody knows you. You know what I'm saying? And Migos was like, nigga, I'd rather be rich than famous. And I'm like, but you rich and you famous.
Yeah, you both.
You both at the same time. Yeah. So do you want to be rich or do you want to be famous?
And it's like, I feel like it sucks, like, walking out the door and being like, oh, that's so-and-so. Oh, that's so-and-so. But at the same time, that so-and-so just changed from, oh, you don't have to pay for your meal, to, oh, well, he better leave me a big tip. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, now I know this man he just pulled up in a Bentley.
Like, before PYT radio ended, shout out to everybody that participated with the crew and, you know, made things pop while we were running, you know, PYT ended. When we were live, you know, it was surreal because I would be at work at the gas station, I would be at Kroger's, I'd be at Walgreens, and somebody'd be like, yo, you from PYT Radio.
Exactly.
And I'm like, yes, I am. Exactly. Hi, how you?
And it makes you feel good.
And it makes you feel really good. And then, you know, you have instances where, you know, we broke up. You know what I'm saying? Everything ended. We just kind of went our own separate ways. Yeah. You know, no animosity towards anybody.
Facts.
But now those people are still looking for the same type of content.
Yeah. And you know,
like, and me
you're
being
not going to get that.
I'm not, and I know I'm not. But at the same time, with that being my first try running, that being my first business, you know what I'm saying, that I share with friends, you know, I've learned my mistakes. I've learned what will work, what won't work, what you can do, what you can't do. And if people can't fall in line with that, then you got to make the decisions that you got to make.
And that's true.
You know, so.
Because we was on the exact same thing, like with our YouTube channel. We just had to rebrand our whole YouTube channel. I mean, we had thousands of views, hundreds of hours of time. Like, we were getting to the point where we were about to start getting paid for what it is, but we end up having things in the group happen that conflicted with each other. So I've always been like, for me, and it's just, I don't know what it's been lately, but for lately, like, if you check my Facebook,
radio ended. Shout out to everybody that participated with the crew and, you know, made things pop while we were running. You know, PYT ended. When we were live, you know, it was surreal because I would be at work at the gas station, I would be at Kroger's, I'd be at Walgreens, and somebody'd be like, "Yo, you from PYT Radio?"
Exactly.
And I'm like, "Yes, I am. Exactly. Hi, how you?"
And it makes you feel good.
And it makes you feel really good. And then, you know, you have instances where, you know, we broke up. You know what I'm saying? Everything ended. We just kind of went our own separate ways.
Yeah.
You know, no animosity towards anybody.
Facts.
But now those people are still looking for the same type of content.
And
you know,
like,
and me
you're
being
not gonna get that.
I'm not, and I know I'm not. But at the same time, with that being my first try running, that being my first business, you know what I'm saying, that I share with friends, you know, I've learned my mistakes. I've learned what will work, what won't work, what you can do, what you can't do. And if people can't fall in line with that, then you got to make the decisions that you got to make.
And that's true.
You know, so...
Because we was on the exact same thing, like with our YouTube channel. We just had to rebrand our whole YouTube channel. I mean, we had thousands of views, hundreds of hours of time. Like, we were getting to the point where we were about to start getting paid for what it is, but we end up having things in the group happen that conflicted with each other. So I've always been, like, for me, and it's just, I don't know what it's been lately, but for lately, like, if you check my Facebook posts, I've been about recently just, if you got a problem with that person, look, call that person up and be like, look, let's sit across from each other, have a conversation. I want us to get together because what I did to you, you may not know why I did it to you, but at the same time, I may not know why you feel that way. So it's like, you feel me?
I have a different view on that, my dog.
See?
Because I used to be that person.
Yeah.
I used to be that person. I used to want to fix it. I used to want to be that person that reaches out and gathers everybody and let's sit down and let's talk about it. Yeah. We ain't kids no more, man.
And that's the thing,
it gets to a point to where, you know, if you've known me long enough, you know, and it went from, you know, deep friendships. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't like, you know, like, we just kind of got together.
Yeah, a couple times.
We knew each other.
Yeah,
so, you know, we know what's going to work and we know what's not, you know, and being a person that feels like you're not heard or you feel like you're kind of being left out of your own creation or your own business, it kind of gets to a point to where, like, yeah, I could talk about it, or two, you know what, I can make this move that I've been feeling in my spirit this whole entire time that I've been denying it because I want it to work so bad. I can just go on and accept its fate and we move on and do something different.
And I think that's what it is. And it's like, I feel so bad because, like, now everything that we have is gone. And it's like, now we've come to the conclusion where it's like, okay, we could go back and we could redo some of those videos that we did on a rebrand. But at the same time, we don't know if the new us is going to be as funny as the old us.
And I can say that when I, you know, just to give a little background, like, you know, when I got the opportunity to be on radio, it was through an independent showcase. Yeah. It was a competition. They were running from state to state to build up teams so that we could all compete. And dude looked at me, he was like, I know what you going to do. You going to do radio. And I was like, well, I'm glad you know me. You know, I'm like, okay. So when I formulated, you know, I was like, you know, caught up on my people. So I'm like, yo, look, we got an opportunity out the ass. Yeah. I want to bring y'all onto this and I want this to work. Right. You know, and at first it started off, you know, some people thought it was just fun. Some people thought, you know, it's just something that we doing. But in my mind, this has been a business move. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is investment. I'm trying to build something from this. Facts, you know what I'm saying? So with Rosewood now, you know, I still have the same image. I still have the same goals. I feel like, you know, I can only build off of what I've done anyway. You know what I'm saying? I can only take and bring what I can bring to the table. And whether people accept that plate or not, that's on them. Yeah. But it's still the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nani has been consistent. And I've not changed up until this point. But to become better. Yeah. And to become a better adult, a better woman, a better songstress, a better writer, a better radio, you know what I'm saying, radio show interviewer.
Yeah, because this person now could have been completely different 2 years ago.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely, yo. Like I've made some changes. So like shout out to everybody. But I feel like the census of it all is unknown. Because you never know what you gotta do to make it pop until you do it,
you don't
and
know.
then it pop.
Yeah.
So
and it's like you sit there and you wait on it. And you're like, okay, I'm getting views, I'm getting likes, I'm getting feedback.
But they not paying me for these likes, y'all.
It's like I'm spending so much money and I'm going
investing.
Out every day. I'm in here window shopping, drooling, thinking about, okay, next check, I don't care what I got to do. I'm getting this so that I can better what I'm doing. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Asking for, like, I had a couple people hit me up through Instagram, like, asking me to be an influencer. But it's like, you want me to be an influencer. You see that I've got the likes. You see that I got the follows. But you still want me to spend my money to invest in your company so that I can get a percentage back by promoting everything that I do with you there. And it's like, okay, do I really want to do that? Or do I want to just continue, like, because I sit there and I think about it, like, Nipsey hustled all day long, sat there, and he bred everything on his own. He said, I'm not messing with nobody. All my money is my money. I own all my rights. I do everything. I get the check, and I pay who I want to pay. And it's like, dang. And then you got MC Hammer, who was like, yeah, show up. I'll pay you. And then he's giving money to everyone. And it's like, bruh, like, where is the balance in between to let me know what I got to do to be better than what I am now? But when is it going to be enough? Like,
create the standard.
It's crazy.
We can create the standard. It's crazy because it's like, you can think about all the artists that have popped up out of Kentucky, as a whole. It's like a popcorn season. So it's like one kernel here, one kernel there. We had Zaza, Jack Harlow, Bryson, Cunning Linguist, Nappy Roots. You know what I'm saying? We got actors, George Clooney, Ashley Judd, that just kind of boop, 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 boop. But there's no foundation. It took them to go and travel and leave and come back, go overseas and come back, and you know what I'm saying, like, but not bring nothing, not bring nothing back with them. Yeah. So
and it sucks. Like seeing in Louisville, like I watched Jack Harlow's video the other day because I knew who he was. I've listened to his music before. I knew Bryson who he was. I listened to his music before, but it's like, okay, they put this song out and now it's everywhere. And it's like, okay, so what about the other 10 artists that I've been listening to in the city, or the other 5 artists that I've been seeing out here grinding, pushing? Like, the same people that I used to see standing out front selling CDs anymore. It's crazy because you don't see that anymore.
And I'm going to tell you why, because shit changes.
Yeah.
This world's always, internet is very, very prominent in this music world. And we have to understand that, with the changes, we have to be able to adapt. But if you don't have your ass capped, if you don't have, people that actually know what they're doing and have some type of underlying ties to the industry, then it's like, if you ain't got no money, if you ain't got no promotion, you're not going to get nowhere. And it's a lot of our artists that, they swear up and down like they are the baddest in Kentucky. And I'm like, but where have you been? Yeah. Where are you going?
And it's like in all the interviews, like with the big artists, it's like, they be like, oh, I had money before I signed my deal. And it's like, from where? Legitimately, how did you do it? If I want to go to work every day, you feel me?
I'm going to tell you something. Shows get artists the most money. Don't ever believe that you make money off of your record sales. Because if you do, it's only about 0.06 cents, 0.05 cents. And you'll look up after the 6-month period. And if you ain't pushed that shit right, you only made like $2.27. Off of album sales as a whole. But if you go on tour, you push these shows, you build your marketing, you build your brand, you build up your audience. That's the only way. You feel me? Jack, I'd have to say that he has some people on his side. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Uchia. You know what I'm saying? Uchia, that's the dude. You feel me? Zaza, his daughter. You feel me? Like, Uchia has worked so hard up until this point to build up these connections that he was like, you know what? I'm going to put you on. Yeah. I got this for you. You know what I'm saying? Or I got that for you. 100%. Get you a manager that knows what they're doing. Get you somebody that believes in you. Know some people that don't do music. Because if you always around your peers, hell, we're going to get tired of supporting each other at the same time because we all doing the same thing. So make sure that you booking shows where don't nobody know you. Get out. But make sure that you come back home. Make sure that you bring it back home. If we don't have the money and the investments to build that music foundation, then it won't ever get built. Everybody will still feel like they gotta leave.
Facts. And it's like, nobody wants to call Kentucky their home. Like, you don't see rappers getting big and being like, you know what, I'm going back to Kentucky and then I'm going to open a studio here in Kentucky. Like how you got, like you said, with Atlanta.
Zaytoven. QC the label is like in the middle of the hood, bruh.
It's everywhere. And it's like what can you do to compete with places like Atlanta, places like LA, places like New York, Brooklyn, like where you see people all day walking up and down the road listening to, like somebody that I started listening to was Partisan Fontaine. Mm-hmm. I absolutely love his music. Mm-hmm. Everything he says, I feel it. Like I know what he's going through. And one song, he was telling that he used to have holes in the crib. He had holes. It was raining through the house. Like you don't realize what you're going through until you realize I'm coming in and it's a puddle full of water right in front of the door, or I'm doing this and this is happening, and it's like I'm not reaping any benefits. I'm not doing any better. I'm not moving on to be a better person. But it's like now he's doing songs with Cardi B. He's doing songs. He's making beats with Kanye. Like it's like he's getting all these different connections, but at the same time, it's like he's not signed, but he doesn't want to be signed. And it's like being able to have like a lot of times I listen to a lot of them, like Tim Westwood, Sway in the Morning, Breakfast Club. Like I listen to all of these shows, and it's like all of them all say the same thing at the end of their interviews. They're like, "Why be signed and have to create this song on this day, make this type of move when I can create songs all day?" Like an interview with Stunner for Vegas, he said he had over 1,000 songs that he hadn't released yet. Like there's songs that people make and they have so much, and it's like, okay, when can I put this out? When can I do this? Because they're under control, but at the same time, like with Nipsey, it's like if he want to do this, he could drop it.
That's the whole thing. People, I can't say for myself because I'm not signed to a label. I am an independent artist, but I always told myself, you know, if I was to sign with somebody, it's gonna be on my terms.
For sure.
You know, I can't model my creativity to be what you want it to be. So I'm sorry if I can't put out a song, you know what I'm saying, on the day that you wanted to, but I definitely got songs that I want to put out. Like, I'm not going to stray away from my creativity. Facts. You know, if you're not offering what you're supposed to offer me, then I'm not doing it. Yeah. And that's just honesty. I can't lose myself. So that's why I'm like, you know, it takes a grind. Like, you got to get up and you got to, like, I know I'm going to have to leave Kentucky soon, and it breaks my heart. Yep. But I know I'm going to be back, though. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm going to come back, and when I come back, I'm going to come back so much harder. Because like, I have that goal in mind to be like, I'm going to be the artist that's like, I'm going to go to LA and come back.
And come, yeah. And it's like, you see a lot of people like with that show, Rhythm and Flow. Like, nobody came from Kentucky. Like, and it was like, there was so many different artists like Chicago, not Chicago, Chance the Rapper, Cardi B, T.I., and then they had guest rappers that came, or guest hosts that came on there, and it's like, all of these people had their different inputs and their different touches and their different breaks in the music that they know that, like, just listening to what they would say was like, okay, this song had a catchy hook, but you wasn't saying nothing in your bars. I can't remember, like, in one of the episodes, he asked him, he was like, do you remember anything that he said? He was like, no. It was like, you have, like, there's music that I listen to, whether it's slow jams, R&B, country, trap, rap, hip-hop. There has to be something in that bar to make me be like, you know what? I'm just sitting here, and then it just spit it out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it's like, I have to hear that song.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, you know, I could have went to American Idol. I could have went to America's Got Talent. I could have went to The Voice, but in every television broadcasting show that does music, or you know, anything that's involved in music that's just a show, that's like a competition, they have a target. Yep. You know, they
know what they want.
They already know what they want. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, like, you'll see somebody from Kentucky on American Idol. You'll see somebody from Kentucky on America's Got Talent. You'll see somebody on The Voice from Kentucky, because they're open. They're more open.
Yeah.
But it's all about what have you been through. Do you have that background story to tell what you've been through to grab an audience to make them feel like, you know what, we want you to win.
Yeah.
Or you can be on Rhythm and Flow and it'd be like, you know what, we feel like these areas will have the best artists to come out, and that's where you point, because I don't even remember seeing the Rhythm and Flow audition. Flyer come through to Kentucky. Nobody talked about it. It's always about what area you live in, where are you at, what's surrounding you. So, shout out to them doing that, but I feel like if Kentucky was to start coming together and we do our own thing, make our own noise, nobody has a choice but to be like, you know what, I see them over there.
Yeah.
Banging the pots and the pans and the spoons together.
Yeah, and the only thing that I worry about is, like, once you get a certain group together, it's like, no offense to other races, but when they get together, they push each other to be better than what they are. They push each other for the next thing.
Hispanics know how to stick together like 10 it's people crazy. Rolling in a 4-door Corolla.
And they are happy.
And cool.
And they're happy. And it's like the next person, like, you get to, like, our ethnicity and our crowd, and it's like, okay, I can't be too close to him. He's getting too close to me. I don't trust this person. I don't trust that person. And it's like...
It's only because, bro, we've been taught that way. And most people are like, but we can change, man. When it's that much of a generational hold on one culture specifically, and we are the only ones that can't stick together, that can't make it happen, that can't make things pop up like everybody else is, it makes you wary. It makes me worry. Sure. I'm worried about my culture. You know what I'm saying? But I can actually say, in the metaphysical plane, in the metaphysical world, more black men and more black women are raising up and becoming more self-aware about where they stand at in this world. Sure. You still got the other people that want to be ignorant and still want to do what they do, how they do it. Exactly. But the people that are sticking together are the nucleus of this foundation that we're building. And it's going to be like an explosion, a nuclear explosion. When you think about it, when a bomb goes off, the initial reaction or the initial catch is in the surrounding around where it, exploded. So you got us, the explosion, and you got the surrounding, everything, that's going to get hit by the ricochet, you know what I'm saying? And then they'll ricochet, and then they'll ricochet, and then everybody's hit. Yep. Everybody knows. So that's kind of like what happened with Jack. That's kind of like what happened with Bryson. You know what I'm saying? We knew. Yeah. The nucleus knew.
Yeah, everybody knew.
You feel me? Until he blew up. And then everybody's like, oh, okay. And then we looked silly because we were like, well, Bryson's going to, you know what I'm saying? Whoop, 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 whoop. But Bryson ain't got to do nothing but take care of himself. Yeah. It's our job to get to where he's at. Yeah. Because he's signed. Yep. So he's got to move how he got to move. Yep. He ain't independent. No, he ain't got no choice. But we got a choice as 100%. Independent artists to look, man, I don't care if I got to save up this 10 bands. I want you as a feature. Yeah, I have you know what I'm saying? I need this track. And it's going to make me back that 10 bands plus fold.
Yeah. And it's like a lot of rappers, a lot of artists, a lot of people, like, you do have to pay to play. And it's like, you have to. Because, like you said, that one feature or that one meet or, you know what I'm saying, even just having a conversation, like, from some of the people that I've written to on Instagram, Twitter, and it's like, okay, they actually wrote me back, and they're like, this trying to gather an audience. And once you gather an audience, you can move on. Then you're good because you know who you appeal to.
I also was like sitting here thinking about it. Like, Boosie was up here a couple months ago, and he was like, whoever got 4 bands to perform right now, you can perform at Rub Arena. And I'm like, you gonna charge me to perform? I mean, I'd rather, like, I could see if you were like, if whoever got 4 bands can catch a feature from me right now in the studio before I go perform at Rub. But I'm not performing for $4,000 in my own city. This is my city.
I have to pay.
You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my city buying these tickets, supporting your craft, whatever. And I know it don't hurt your feelings whether you stop through here or not. But at the same time, you were where we were. No, I wasn't selling drugs. Nah, I wasn't tricking hoes. Nah, I wasn't doing this that you were doing back then. But you see the kind of inspiration and the influence that you have on this culture here. So why not give that one person a shot?
Yep.
I would have did like a $25 ticket entry. You know what I'm saying? And we draw out the name of who's gonna come and perform.
Yep.
Not who got more money. We trying to get there.
Yep.
It takes money to make money, and I get that. But at the same time,
and the one person that's got that 4,000, that may come up and give it to you.
Be crap.
And
be crap as hell.
And that's what we got to look at for our city. Like, it could be someone like, no shade to anybody that performs in the city, but it could be somebody who's not, I guess you would say, like, not capable, but equipped to perform at that capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing that really is going to do, because if you have someone who's not equipped, they don't have a sound manager, they don't have mics, they don't have this, they don't have that, they all have it performed, and you don't have someone that's there that knows how to play, like, what are you doing showing up with just an instrumental on a flash drive?
Bro, let me tell you something.
I'm just saying.
Let me tell you something. And trying to make sure that you have all of that is hard, because you got to pay those people.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's as easy as it sounds to be like, you know, you can get somebody on your bandwagon and be like, you know what, I support the cause, I'll do this for free.
Yeah.
I got people like that.
Yeah, me too.
But at the same time, I've got other people that are like, that I could really use as an asset. It's like, you know, I got to make sure that I get you paid.
Yeah,
I got to make sure that you straight. So if I can't do that, I can't book you. But however, I know that me personally, by myself, I'm going to be okay. Right. I know what I'm doing. I can perform on the track and still make a whole ass show, versus whether I got a live band or, you know, do I have a sound manager with me who's controlling the soundboard, make sure I get a manager, guys.
Yeah.
A manager.
And making sure your camp is ready.
A manager.
If your camp ain't ready and you got, like you said, having a live band, say you got somebody who plays a crucial part with the saxophone, and he's got the flute. So.
Or he's running 45 minutes late. Your show was supposed to have started 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, like.
You got to think about all of that, man. People.
Like, what can I do? You got to improvise. You
have
to make sure you have people that are reliable in case, like, there is emergencies that happen, but at the same time, you know, at the end of the day, like, if you book something on a Wednesday, people do forget. Things happen. You do forget. But at the same time, you got to be able to own up and be like, look, I apologize. I overbooked you, or I didn't do this, and live up to it.
Yo, let me tell you something. People, especially people that have just now gotten started, I feel like if anybody doesn't have any official sound or quality, man, you can't say really nothing. Fact. You're still learning. You're still building up. Like I did a show back in January at the Borough, and you know, I basically, you know, grouped together some artists. I kind of gave my manager an image of what I wanted to bring to life, and we did that. Exactly. And, you know, the one thing I wanted to do, I was like, yo, if nothing else, if I can't pay you a lot of money, because this is not just on me. I'm not just bringing people to watch you. You've got to bring people to watch you, too. This is about your fan base. Who is your audience? And are they coming to watch you when you hook a show or when you book a show up? Exactly. So, you know, I guaranteed everybody, you know, gas money. Yeah. You know, made it prominent that, you know, if nothing else, I can get you a drink. If I can't get you no money, whatever.
Yeah. But you definitely got the opportunity to get here.
I had one artist. I mean, like, and the show was dope. I don't care what nobody said. The show was fabulous. I had one artist get on social media, and because no one came to see her perform, she was hot mad. And all y'all had to do was give me $20. First of all, that was in the agreement. We said gas money. How much did you think gas money was?
$20 is a lot of gas.
$20 is a lot of gas money. Okay? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still wanted to make sure, but like I told her, you know, the way you go about things in this world, it can either make you or it can break you.
Yeah. Because, you know what I'm saying? If somebody sees that, they're going to be like,
yeah. So,
like you said, at least you got something. I didn't have to give you anything but the opportunity.
You feel me? That's it. I gave her the opportunity. You know, I hit her up, and I was like, you know, hey, if you really did have a problem, baby, all you had to do was just come and talk to me directly. Yeah. You know, no, it's your janky promoter. No, I'm the promoter. Yeah. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. This is what happens when you're independent. You control your stuff. Yep. So you could have came to me, but you wanted to cut that tie. Exactly. You wanted to get irate. You wanted to get crazy. So I let everybody know to go show you love. Yeah. Whether they did that or not, I don't know. But if that's what makes you feel important, is people being there. then you know, hey, by all means. But how you conduct yourself in this business world controls everything. You can talk yourself out of a deal without even knowing it because you don't know who's watching you. There are people on social media everywhere. And whether we know they're famous or not, because we're not checking every profile that tunes into our shows, bro, they could be that one person that's like, you know what? Boosie's like my cousin, or his manager's my cousin. Yep. I can definitely hit his manager up and send this. Bro, that's how it happens. And if you get caught slipping, you can either make your career or you can break your career. Period. So you gotta be careful, man. Gotta be careful. Got to be careful. Period.
Well, guys, that's all the time we got today. We will be conducting a video interview soon, so you definitely gotta make sure you check that out.
Yes. Also, guys, do not forget, man. April 8th through the 19th, it is going down. Anonimuss Rose will be on tour. This will be the A Bed of Roses tour. We'll be hitting Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee. So if you have not went to my social media page at Anonimuss Rose on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, you can definitely get on there now and check out the dates to see where we're going to be at so you can book your ticket today.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on everything that we got.
Shout out to the Konnect.
Hey.
Okay.